with the blues, so making my favorite soup growing up was lamb barley soup. After my mom make a roast, usually Easter we do a roast leg of lamb. We just did a roast leg of lamb video. So I had some nice chicken, some lamb stock. I roasted off the bones when they're all done. So here's the gravy that I had left over from, but I'm going to use the rest of the lamb that I have right here. So I made a couple of nice hot lamb sandwiches over toast, but this is all left over, so that's going to go into my soup too. So we're just going to get that simmering on the back. I took celery tops, everything that wasn't good enough really to put into the soup, like this here for instance. I cut the ends off of this. But you got this is all just some organic celery we got, and some of the outer parts were not doing great. So you could just take your peeler. A lot of people end up throwing it in the garbage. In the restaurant, same thing. Cooks don't care. A lot of times, they'll throw good stuff in the garbage. I hate it. So, but we'll cut our vegetables. Now it's important, all the trim, just put off to the side of your cutting board. Come in a little closer. So, you see how we cut for the diced carrots? And, so, with soup, it's nice to have uniformity in your vegetables. I always think so anyway. So get a uniform dice to it. See this right here? I cut the very end off, but this is good. I mean, I put the whole thing right in the soup. That bottom line, when you, is some of the best flavor. That right next to the, to the root. See, we're right there. I'll even dice the bottom of the root. Then for the celery, watch how I do it. Come here, Keith. Look. See? Just cut it right down. Just quick dice. The onion, see, you got the half an onion. So we'll do it here. See? What I say is always bring your pot to the cutting board. See? All right, so I got the barley going. I don't want to cook that in the soup. I'm going to cook it on the side. So, got this at Fiddleheads. And, save that for another day, another batch. How much this cost? Any idea? Bulk, cheap. Got all the veggies ready to roll. Okay, so just let that stock cook a little bit more, and then we're gonna dice up the lamb. I'm gonna fry it up. I got a little bit of, bacon grease, miscellaneous grease. I keep it in a cup instead of using butter. Every few days, boil it up, simmer it up, But I want to show you, this is what my mother used to make all her old-fashioned meat grinder. She'd grind all her own scraps, and for her cod cakes, she'd grind she'd hook that onto the counter. And we'd always have the rice, our mashed potatoes. That was our chore, you know. She'd call us in, whoever was around, mash the potatoes for dinner. Old school. See, that we hadn't probably used. That's it. Okay. I might have my cousin or somebody paint it up, you know, bring it back to life. So, our skillet's nice and hot. Brown them up a little bit, you know, get some of the fat cooked off into it. See the nice stock we got? That extra gravy, it didn't thicken it up a whole lot because we had very little flour in it to begin with. And it's concentrated down, you know, so look at that beautiful rich stock we have going on. There's a telltale smell of that lamb. Either you love it or hate it. There's no middle of the road. So this for Jeremy right here. I don't care what flavor you got. If you got it in the bottom of your skillet, you know, don't waste it. That's it. We're going to bring it back to the nice simmer. And once those vegetables are nice and tender, but not overly cooked, because we want to keep the texture of them. But we know our vegetables are there. We're going to add the mushrooms. Then we're going to add our barley once it's cooked. See, I got the rhythm, but not the lyrics. Axel. Come on up here. A little leftover potato. So, get it, Titus. Get it, Titus. Okay, see, look. See all the starch in the water? So we don't, you know, that'll cloud up your soup. So we don't want that. So we're just gonna come over and run some water over it. We don't want all that starch in our soup. One nice. Okay, get right into our soup. We're gonna add our mushrooms into it, and essentially just bring that back to a simmer, and it'll be ready. So check it out now. Okay, beautiful soup. Costs nothing. I mean, really, the barley, the little bit of vegetables we put in there, the stock. Mom, I love you. Hope you rested in peace. You worked hard your whole life, made it to 93. You left behind your, have your all recipe index cards. One of my most prized possessions, because every time I pull out one of your recipes, it takes me back to when I was a kid. All the special holidays, special memories. We're blessed to have these days, even though it's some hard times with the coronavirus and self, quarantining, but we're making the best out of it, and hope you do too. We're gonna bring that up to the simmer, and we're gonna test it out. Slide is easy. So what I was saying earlier, we used to have saltines as a kid, but I love these here. Milton's. Couldn't find them in the store, right? You know, when things started to get tight, you know, in the grocery store. So I ordered them up. Amazon. Jeez. What would we do without Amazon? I don't know. Oh. Okay. There we go. This is how I love to eat. Right here. So I already checked it for, see back here we got our stock going I was telling you about. Just slow simmer it. Now right there you got flavor. Put those onion peels that I had earlier. Just let that slow cook. Never hard boil it. You know, the stock will stay nice and clear. So this is done right here. Look at that. That nice soup. See? Now watch how, see, you want to do a knot, see your ladle doesn't drip. You know, stir it up so you get off the bottom. Dip it. See right there? See? It gives you like a half a second. I wish, you know, here, let me see. I'll show you what we're going to do here. A little bit of, that's what we need. A little parsley. Now get some herb, plant some herbs going on. This is it. Look at this for next to nothing. You know, packing of mushrooms, they were $2. The barley was like $1. The vegetables, maybe another 50, 60 cents, 75 cents. The stock was free off that leg of lamb. And, you know, just a little bit of meat. You don't need it's not a stew, this is a soup. And this Daddy Jack's Cook with the Blues here. Cooking, a little music going on. Axel, you've been good, you ran hard. He's a good boy. So, you know, we love y'all. Stay healthy, stay safe. Listen to what your governors are telling you. Some are saying maybe go back to work. Others are saying, you know, the federal government is great, but you know, it's state laws first that prevail. So respect your local politicians, your state politicians. They'll lead us in the right direction. Okay, guys, go with the Blues. Peace.